Okay, I'm Andrew Wilkinson. I'm in the Department of Marine and Ecological Sciences, and the majority of classes I teach are non-major freshman courses for Intro to Environmental Bio and Intro to Environmental Science.
Okay. So the first question is, do you believe that environmental science is being taught with enough emphasis from K through 12?
Okay. I can't comment on the system in Florida because I wasn't in the K through 12 system in Florida, so I don't know, and I can't reflect that based on student knowledge. Some students know a lot, some students know very little, but I don't know where my students are coming from. So here at FGCU, I think something close to half of our students are from out of state or not within this area. So unfortunately, I don't know enough myself.
Okay. The second question is, do you believe that teachers are lacking resources that could aid them in teaching environmental science?
In K to 12?
Well,
or
K through 12. Have you ever worked in a high school or no?
Okay. Yeah, so my understanding is that a lot of Florida schools are underfunded. Certainly I know compared to Canada, and probably compared to a lot of other states, because I know I do believe we're the fourth lowest paid state in the United States, and based on my coworkers having issues with simple field trips, local field trips in the K to 12 system, I'd imagine that the public school system is grossly underfunded and probably lacking resources for proper for teaching the students proper issues with the environment. So I highly doubt they're getting any field trips to help.
So what would you think is something that could fix that issue?
Well, at FGCU we're strong believers in getting in learning outside the classroom with the environment, getting in the environment so you can see the issues, and it doesn't have to be quite a walk in nature. It can also be the Imaginarium downtown Fort Myers, or the nature center, or
so implementing
sort
of
and what I've heard from civic engagement teachers is they're out fundraising for students to do just one field trip, just one, because a lot of schools here in Lee County don't even have money for just one field trip a year, or any trips.
Okay. And then my next question is, are major companies getting in the way of climate change education because of their influence in politics?
There's a lot of disinformation out there. It's funny that when I was a kid, we just talked about climate change. Here's the scientific data, and there's no issue. And then all of a sudden, in the 2000s, beginning with the first election, I guess in 2001, the first election in the 2000s, all of a sudden climate change is an issue, and I didn't even understand why it had an issue in politics. I still don't understand how, when I was a kid, it was a scientific issue. So I guess the short of it is yes, and it is so basic, it's ridiculous. It's just, we know that greenhouse gases absorb infrared radiation, and it's at a certain wave band length, and you can put CO2 in a jar, methane in a jar, and you'll see the thermometer go way up compared to if you put regular air in that same jar.
So
It's
you
just non-debate. So
you
yeah.
believe that politics is interfering with
yeah,
the basic sciences?
absolutely. I mean, it's got no business in politics. It's a scientific problem, and people are saying if it's true or not true. I mean, it's basic science. It's yes, greenhouse gases absorb heat. So I think it's ridiculous we've made it a political issue and a business issue.
Okay. And the last question is, if one generation obtains the knowledge of living sustainably and with the education, will that trickle down to other generations and allow for a better society?
In a perfect world, yes, but it's just like, when I was a kid, everyone knows how to live healthy and be healthy. Everyone knows not to smoke, eat your vegetables, fruit, eat in moderation, exercise. Do people do it? No. I think everyone knows, in general, maybe not how to live perfectly sustainably, but I think everyone knows what to do to live a more sustainable life. But doing it's a different issue.
Okay.
It's just like, why do people smoke? It's hard to change human
So
behavior.
if you think that we were educated at a younger age, and that education had an emphasis throughout each age group,
I think it would help.
You think it would help?
I think it would help. I'm not saying it's going to make for a perfect world, but sure, it would help.
Okay. Thank you.